Hello, YouTube audience. We will have a bit of a shorter video today. You guys will not notice the difference, but for my streaming audience, this will be the last time this is streamed for this series specifically, only because we will be doing it exclusively on YouTube as we are so close to the end that there will be less to gain from it as a... Ooh. That not working. There will be less to gain from it as a streaming sort of thing. That's odd. I don't know why that's having such a hard time. But I have an idea. Welcome back, Maverick. I will look at that at stream end to approve everything on my end. And since you're back, you can now see the formula. Also, I will tell you, if you figure it out right away, it does not mean you're bad at math. It's just one of those things that, like, coincidentally, if you're bad at math, I've noticed people have a hard time. It does. And it's one of those things of, like, the deeper you get into it, the more in the weeds you end up. And you just end up laughing when basically when you're done with it. I need to figure out why this is doing this, because Refine Tools is giving me a hard time. Okay, everybody. If you're gonna play this game, I have a simpler in mind. Come here, grab a bunch of these really expensive things. And carefully. Yeah, I'm hoping... So I do believe I wrote it correctly for you. If I did write it correctly, feel free to give that to any teacher and watch their brain explode. Because they're either going to think it's the funniest, best thing ever, or the most infuriating thing on Earth. Although I would not be surprised if some of the professors just know it by heart. Because it's one of those formulas that you just kind of know. It wants A, B, and C, and at all times, all of those formulas must be true. So they are all one thing. So if, you know, hypothetically, if you say A is 1, B is 2, and C is 3, then a plus, so 1 plus 2 equals 3, 1 times 2 equals 3, failure. And that's just how you do it. So, hypothetically, if you could find a variable format for all of that, that would be incredible. I honestly have no idea how you would do that, though. Because I will be honest, that is what the college professor did, and that took him a week to get back to me on. So, that is the rabbit hole that you can go down. And don't worry, it only gets worse from there. Awesome. Well, let me know if at any point you figure it out. Like I said, it's one of those formulas that the more you think about it, the harder it gets. And feel free to involve any help you need, or, you know, want to enjoy watching them struggle with it. Okay. That reminds me, I do have to check to make sure I can rearrange part of my schedule so that I can do some extra time for that tomorrow. That way we get to enjoy it. Wait a second. There we go. So at this point, I'm quite literally making just infinite of end game material. Like, unobtainium is the only thing I don't have right now, and this machine right here is making it. And I can expand on this technically infinitely. So like if I just copy this over, boom. It's at this point that's the speed limit of this. The Insanium reprocessor is the thing holding this up. In theory, I could probably make a farm that moves more of that, but honestly, I have no idea. Let's see. Dark Rocks. Doo-doo. Walk. Actually, Yeah, I didn't think they'd let me cheese it by making infinite insanium. That's good. Honestly, that's how you learn to love a subject, is have people you can talk about it with. Because no matter how much you may like a subject now, if you have no one to discuss it with, it dies very quickly. Got that. Got that. That. I don't think I need the laser drills anymore. Okay. Unfortunately, we will be pulling a McDonald's here because we need a infinite number of a specific item, and in order to do that, that's why I'm making such a large quantity of cow capsules. For copyright reasons, absolutely not, but quite possibly. Like, theoretically, just moving that thing closer to the farm would automate this, but... Okay, that enough? Ugh. Exactly. So, liquid meat has a very interesting purpose. Which, technically, I just realized I don't need, but it can be used to make these raw processing fluids. And I'm not sure. I think it's still a thing. But stuff like unobtainium, I could make this, and then I could basically make Ender Dragon ores, and like basically materials I don't normally have access to infinitely. I can basically force it to give me infinite. Honestly, I really don't even think I need it anymore because I found a solution, and I don't actually think I have a need for, like, the vibranium. I already have Can't do anything with rubies. Already got infinite of everything else. Unobtainium is something I'm currently working on, but that takes it takes time because the creative essence that I'm working with, just making 2 of them, takes 100 of these. Right now, I've left that running, and I barely have 194. Technically, there are nuclear reactors in here. So theoretically, I could build a working nuclear reactor. I believe one of the quests that I'm just kind of ignoring is, hey, build a nuclear reactor. And I was just like, yeah, no, don't care enough about it. Yeah. Make a draconic reactor, which requires a fusion of all these things, and it builds a reactor that can do all kinds of cool stuff, which is not really useful to me, honestly, because the only reason you would need a nuclear reactor is for power, right? Well, if I walk over, well, not walk, but fly over here, I've got this magical thing that just has infinite power. Like, not even a question, just infinite power. Here you go. Part of me thinks I could do something to increase the crafting rate of those, but also I'm using it to make, like, creative stuff. So it is highly irritating, but yeah, you need 8 dust in order to actually make an ingot, and while that's technically fine, at the end of the day, in order to make it a liquid, which is fine, you need, I think it's either 6 or 7 of them. Yeah, I believe it's 7 of these ingots in order to make a bucket. And the instant I have a bucket worth, I have infinite, because I can make infinite of any item I can put into a bucket. And I'm not joking. If I do this, I have infinite. Just, yeah. So if I come here, the thing I would want to use this for is building a alloy kiln to make these. And I don't believe I can melt this down. This makes weird generators, and just, it makes the, I believe it's N tier weapons, so, you know, that does 1,500 hearts of damage. Also, I check the power mod. Power mod. Player transmitter. wonder if I can use this to just keep everything charged. Like, actually, I have Infinitium or whatever. Let me see if I can make, under the creative items, where is it? Go here, go there. So that's cool, but I don't actually need it. That's nice, but again, don't need it. That would be funny to have, but again, like, don't really need it because I'll have infinite of this, infinite of these, which reminds me, in theory, I could make this with relative ease. It would just be waiting on that to craft, like, and that's boring. Like, why would I wait for something to craft when I can just have it? Reminds me, I don't believe you can melt down the draconium, so I have seeds for it. So, I have always been a fan of factory games. You know, Satisfactory, Factorio, things of that nature. And this may sound weird, my love for factory games started with Command and Conquer. Because if it's worth doing, it's worth murdering everybody and doing it 1,000 times better. Every one of these requires 183. And I think those are running as fast as they can. Come down here and say, hey, I want 10 of these. Not quite. Hey, I want 6 of these. I can do that. But yeah, I would say factory and management games are my most common niche. They are not my only niche. I used to do like competitive Command and Conquer with some friends, but at a certain point, not everyone wants to keep playing. Huh. Okay, that's kind of funny. Oh, right, I forgot. These guys can only be fed from the top. So, if I wanted to do this, in theory... One of you guys just stole it, didn't you? Yep. Which, you also stole my cows. Why? Boop, boop. How about you? What's your niche? Because whether it's video games or anything else, everyone's got a niche. Okay. So, like story-based or semi-creative story-based, where a lot of things can happen all at once. Yes, I will always say XCOM 1 is better than XCOM 2, at least the new ones. Have you seen the new version of the old XCOM? I have no idea how they're making this. But okay. I'm actually surprised that this is having a hard time keeping up. So, give me a second. There is a game where it is basically the old style of XCOM, where you're kind of like stuck in with it. I wonder if it'll let me. Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm seeing some insanity that I need to address. Master Infusion Crystal. Let me see if I can find the game. It is. I will remember in a moment. I've done quite a bit of No Man's Sky. I've been with No Man's Sky since the beginning. I was also doing Shadows of Doubt. I don't know if you know of that game. Xenonauts 2. That is the game that is based around the old XCOM style. Yeah, they've always been one of those ones that every now and again I go back to them. There is another game as well that is similar, which is called Phoenix Point. Oh yeah, No Man's Sky definitely is better now than it was originally. Like, don't get me wrong, when I originally played it, it was still pretty good. But it is so much better now. Okay. Let's see. That. Also want to come up here and go apply. Apply. Oh. Want internal on everything that is not that last one. The last one is a internal except kind of thing. One of you. Come on, come on, come on. One of you. You. And you should be turned off, so. No Man's Sky is probably the only game I can say for a fact has ever surprised me with the fact that it could have done what it's doing now later, and it would have been considered genius if it was not pushed to release early. Don't get me wrong, you don't want a game sitting in early access or anything like that indefinitely, because then there's no point in having it. But you also don't want to be promising people the world and then have someone go, oh, we have to do it now. Because then you got people who know what they're doing who are just kind of scared and screaming and like, I don't know what to do. Well, you do something. You have to do something. There we go. Oh, turn off snail mode. I think the biggest problem is it's not going to round robin, but it is going to basically double my capabilities. Like, just imagine what it would have been like if... Because obviously they wouldn't have had this at launch with just the way the world works. But imagine if they did. Like, imagine if the game we have now was what they launched with. I don't think... Like, you would there's still issues compared to, you know, what they promised and what is physically possible. But I don't think anyone would ever question whether it was a success. It would have just blown everything else out of the water for a indefinite amount of time while, you know, they figured out what to do with all the money. Now we want a bucket. So we now have these all put together. For the audience at home, we are basically building unobtainium dust for creative dust, and we are doing that so that we can get it's either 6 or 7 unobtainium dust, which will get us a bucket's worth of unobtainium. Once we have a bucket's worth of unobtainium, we have infinite unobtainium that I can then craft through here. Which reminds me, I need to grab that, and then what was the other one that I had told it to make? That. Because by doing this, I have access to all the variations of it automatically. I enjoy that there's so many things that are like, yeah, you have a billion of this. I don't think I need a furnace upgrade right now. I do need upgraded chest piece though. That sounds great. Boom. Boom. That's the helmet. Pants. These are the boots. Okay. Oop. Oh, at least for the very moment in time, I can put this on because instead of 3 armor, I now have hundreds. Appealing to become natural, immune to all damage sources using fire or lava. No crash damage while using an elytra. Protection from damage sources using wither, magic, and resistance, and no fall damage. So I can come here and just turn off hover and then this, and I can just go boom, and I will be fine. Kind of wish I can like tell it to craft those when available, but I've got to kind of just wait. Again, this is silly. Don't need another gear anymore. Honestly, part of me wants to try to take on the dragon. Another part of me doesn't want to deal with it at all. We're almost at a bucket of meat. At this point, acquiring a bucket of meat is just a personal goal. There we go. So what do you think of my infinite metal via infinite liquid concept? $300. That's the magical number. We're getting there. Part of me wants to build the final power flower, but the other part of me goes, that's a pain in the butt. Why would I do it? Lock of Nether Star. That's easy enough. Boom. Don't know what the use of a fallen star is, because, like, got it from around the dragon, and I still have no use for it. Okay, let me see if I make battery. I go to creative. Hmm. Much as I don't want to do it, that's technically the thing I should be making. Creative capacitor, chaotic capacitor. Yeah. Just make a battery then. Uh, well, there we go. This roll, click start. Start. Woo! I have the power. And then we're gonna come over here and just connect my charge pad right to there. Two. Okay, so it basically fits in the charm slot. Good. Now I don't have to worry about zip packing that much. Actually, Creative, and funny thing is, boom, boom, boom. We want to do it in here just because we have a few other open slots, and I can come here and go, hey buddy, I want exactly one of these. And now I can make it just by doing that. But by doing this creative thing, I cannot remember. Oh, yeah. Let's see if it works. French? I think it's French. Yep. And then cables. Okay. I have no idea if this is going to behave. But I at least think it's going to be funny. If I do that, are you just going to let me order a dust? Yes, you are. Alrighty. And I will be giving you access to the channel. So I don't know. I think there is this area. If you want to submit it into the Discord, feel free to. Like I said, that will probably happen in a little over an hour just because I have some things I have to ensure I take care of. Oh, it works. Wonder if it's going to take it back in. Might have to put the importer to force it back. Good night. Okay, so we want import one cable, upgrades. Cool. Now, the other three dust. I'm missing a substantial quantity. I think I have enough to make one more dust. I think 22, so that should be an actual quick thing. Hmm. Odd. There. Green, and then make those green. Everything breaks. Wonder. Okay, so this has to be the... Okay, so those will not go past it. That is a interesting conundrum to have. Yep. Right. Let's see. This gonna let me do 50. Okay. And that was pretty quick, actually. How far away is it? 2. Ah. So that does, in essence, upgrade my speed to double. Which isn't really useful because there's a right now my limit is how fast I can make those. I guess I might as well look into doing this. Another star. White relays. Colossal. Or white compressed. A white relay. Use. Oh. Are spheres. So that's actually easier. White. Blues. And then we want, what was the bunch of oh. Fading is something I will look into in a bit, but for now, that with auto crafters, and we want the ultimate auto crafter. Package crafter. That seems a little excessive. And I don't know. The problem is I don't know what it's used for. Like if you came over and said, "Hey, this is used to do X, Y, or Z, and will always work," and yada yada yada. Okay. But for now, I have no idea what it's used for. Hopper. Because for some reason, the hoppers seem to be the thing that want to listen. Crafter. Get away with the diamond crafter here. Got the wood for it, so there's that. Table. And that. Let's click for the deletion of that recipe. We'll do that. Tell it. Hey, you know, we want this thing. Not going to be the main reason we use this, but it will exist. That. Come down here. Say, hey, I want one of these. Hit start. Grab everything used in this. Do that. Click. And now, even though this is definitely going to murder my stuff, yeah. 32. That doesn't want to behave. Dust's moving. We'll get one more dust. Four. Okay. For now, we will not get any more. But we're going to go boom. And all of a sudden, it's no longer an issue. Okay. That is a step quicker. These are staying powered, which is very useful. I just don't know what the range limit on them are, because if I could find it, I would then make a mass chamber for it. See, not quite there yet. Arsenium is making its way. I don't know what is getting shifted. I think it's something getting shifted simply by me looking at it. Really know how I feel about that. Those. Now, I don't know if it is going to run into issues with me doing it that way, but I do know it's going to at least attempt it. Reminds me, do I have multi-block tanks? I haven't checked. Barrel. Mask. Fluid storage tank. Nope. Tank. Okay. So, at least once this is done, I will be putting that there. $200, not quite there yet. Ender air bottle. What is that used for? Darkhauler. Sparks. X's. Like, all this stuff is used for cool things, but I had zero reason to get into the actual Britannia, and that makes me a little sad. Like, Yeah, there's a quest for it, but the like these boots not useful to me. Time in a bottle is useful to me, but only up to a certain degree. Like, I honestly have no idea. I do time in a bottle. Clock. Cool. Rune of Spring. I just do stone. Boom, boom. Okay. Some of you learn to stay away. Okay. Boom. Shears. Saplings. And pop. Pop. Boom, boom. Oak leaves. There's my apple. And a diamond. Cool. Okay, buddy. Okay, come on. I'm in a bottle, which reminds me I need to come here. The everlasting pool. Okay, I guess we will play with Botania while we wait. I think it's the Thermal Lily. Exoflame, haha. Which is funny because I can craft basically all of them. Where is the Book of Botania? Because I have to find that. Botania. Endoflame. If I type in Endo and save it, one of the funny things I could do is I could make this self-refill just by importing water. So we need light gray, red, and brown. Red, light gray, brown. Boom, boom. Oh, right, seed. Boom, 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 boom. And that is, at least for now, the closest we're gonna get to just about any of these. I'm gonna come over here, make a cute little mana pool. Sir, did you eat my pool? Yes, you did. Oh. Got. These are infinitely expandable. I don't even need to make more than one. And go there. Grab our Botania. And I'm gonna mana splitter. spreader. And we'll grab this. Just for the sake of it. Logs. Ta-da. I could also automate that, but is what it is. Let's come down here. And before we log out, because we will be doing that quite soon, let's see if we can make another unobtainium. I think we're going to be close with the unobtainium. I just don't think we're going to have enough. There we go. I'm missing 66. Remind me. There we go. That is quite a bit quicker, thankfully. And I think thing 190. Yep. So I do believe, yeah, unfortunately everybody, looks like you will have to catch the conclusion of this on my YouTube channel. Link is in the bio, and I hope to see you all over there. I know it's not always the most entertaining series, but I feel like with the 1 or 2 more episodes, maybe 100, depending on if I decide to just make everything look pretty, we will see where we're going with this. But with that, we're going to wrap it up, and I want to tell everyone, thanks for coming, and take it easy.